Hello, hello, hello. Angel here. Welcome to or back to this space. Are you new? You've been before? It doesn't matter. Welcome one, welcome all. We're all friends here. Okay, so today I'm doing a VR to Tarot Ignited, and I'm looking forward to this one because it's all about decks as friends. Let's get into it. Now, I stumbled upon their video a couple of days ago, and the first question they were asking was, are they using tarot as a substitute for human interaction? Well, I mean, we're telling our decks our deepest, darkest secrets, aren't we? And you could think that they are separate, individual personalities, individual friends that you're telling these secrets to. So the answer to that question is hell yeah, I'm definitely using tarot as a substitute for human interaction. I don't have much luck with friends, I've got to say. I had more friendships in my younger days, and I think it's a running theme because my sisters and my mum are the same. We tend to have like one friend. We don't tend to have like a group of friends, and now I really do try to keep myself away from social situations with people. So am I using my decks as a substitute for human interaction? You better believe it. Let's get into the first prompt. We've got 8 prompts, I think so. Let's get into the first one. So the first prompt is the childhood friend. So the friend maybe that you were forced to, become friends with because maybe your parents were friends, or maybe it was a school friend, somebody that you met, or maybe or daycare or something. I'm going to choose a friend that I met on my first day of infant school, and I was a very, very, very shy child. And I actually made the first move. I saw this little girl sitting with curly hair, and she was sitting alone by herself on a mat, and I went over to her, and I introduced myself and sat down. We started talking, because I thought it was best to be nervous and shy with somebody else than be not nervous and shy by myself. So the deck I chose for the childhood friend is the Oak, Ash and Thorn deck, and that is going to be because this is such a gentle, dare I say, careful, shy deck. It feels like this gentle forest companion that's, keeping you company on your travels. And I kind of felt like that's what I needed on my first day of infant school, and we were sitting on the mat and I saw this little girl, and I just thought, if I just go over and dare to speak to them, I might have a companion that can, kind of hold my hand on this like scary journey that I'm on in infant school. So that's the reason that this kind of made me think of that friend and that situation that I was in. I remember being an extremely, extremely shy child, and I remember that my mum has told me afterwards, as an adult, that she used to take me to mum and toddler groups, and I just used to sit with my mum because I was just so shy. I didn't want to play with any children. I didn't want to talk to them. I just wanted to be with her or by myself. And I think that kind of comes up as well with my sisters being 10 and 12 years older than me. So they were always so much older, and I never had a playmate, even at home. So I just learnt to kind of get along by myself and keep myself entertained, which I think is a great skill actually to acquire at an early age, to enjoy one's own company. I think that's a very important skill to to enjoy your own company. I think that's a really important thing. I'm using the Oak, Ash and Thorn currently. I'm using this actually for the same reason as a gentle companion. I find this deck quite, it's almost like those, like, you don't maybe, but wild animals in the woods, and you have to kind of go to them slowly, or else you scare them off. And that's what this deck is. It's very gentle and it's a very careful deck, I think, or that's the way I experience it in any case. And for the work I'm doing currently with my inner mausoleum landscape, I just felt I wanted a gentle companion to walk by my side and offer me some comfort. So yeah, so this is the deck I chose for my schoolhood friend. So the next prompt is school friend. This is the kind of friend that, obviously it's self-explanatory, you meet at school. Now, I had a friend at school, we were friends actually through infants, then kind of lost, contact with, or kind of lost contact with the other, we became friends with other people, and then we kind of met up again in like high school, so about 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, something like that. All those years we were kind of friends. And, you know, when you're 11, you know, I mean, nowadays, I don't know what 11-year-olds are doing. I can tell you what I was doing when I was 11. I had a massive teddy that was about the same height as me that I got when I was a toddler. And me and this friend, when we were about 11, 10, 11, 12, something like that, we we used to use that massive teddy that was the size of us to slide down my stairs at home when my mum was at work in the evenings. And it was absolutely such fun. Goodness knows what our neighbours thought, because I used to live in a terraced house. So we used to like run up and down these stairs with this teddy and sit on the teddy and like slide all the way down. I mean, it's I don't know how we didn't end up injuring ourselves, but we didn't. But it was so much fun. We also had like a journal that we used to write to each other in, and we used to like pass it back and forward. I mean, we saw each other every single day at school, so I don't know why we had this journal, but we did. And we used to write all our, you know, thoughts and feelings in it, and, you know, things that happened throughout the day. And we used to write about Take That, because we were massive Take That fans. And we even, I know that my friend started, she taped a little plastic bag full of what she'd had for dinner, some of what she'd had for dinner, and posted it, you know, taped it into this journal, which of course, you know, burst within a couple of days, and it like rotted, and the journal smelled really disgusting, and we still carried on writing in it because we were nincompoops. Anywho, so yes, good old days, you know, being a I'm going to say still a child at 11, 12, 13, 14. I was still definitely a child. And I'm going to actually tell another story. Let me show the deck first. So, because I'm not going to be here forever. You know, being a child, so I chose the Child Tarot. I've edged mine in all multicolours. This is a mass market deck, which I have never used. I saw this on Robyn's channel. This is by Gibbs Smith, which I've never heard of before. It's in a really nice box, magnetic box. Comes with a good old guidebook. Never used it. And maybe this will be the way in this month for the inner child work that I'm doing. I found this at the back of my cupboard and I was like, oh yeah, this deck. And I'm going to say that I love this deck because it's got my favourite kind of borders, which are kind of like portals. So the items are like coming out from the portal. I love that. I love this fall as well. Oh, so good, so good. So this kind of like encompasses the stories I was just telling you. You know, we kind of maybe were kind of making the most of our last years of being kids, I'm going to say, although we were like, you know, teenagers. But, you know, back in the 90s, when I was a teenager, I was still really like childlike. I was probably still playing with dolls, and I was like 10, 11, I reckon. Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, you know, I was sliding down the stairs on big teddy bears, so, you know, you can see where my brain was when I was 11, 12 or 13. And I'm going to say, actually, when I was I 15 or 16, I was voted at my school deputy head girl, and my friend was made a head prefect, and we were supposed to be, you know, like, you know, responsible teenagers, you know. And we were at this parents' evening, and we were supposed to like show the parents to where they were supposed to be sitting, and then whilst they were having their meetings, we would then like, you know, just go into a classroom and just, you know, keep ourselves amused. And the deputy head boy was there, and like quite a few head prefects were there, and me and this same friend, we were playing like we're being like stiff as a board almost, laying on the desk tabletops, and we were dragging each other around by our legs. It was so much fun. And honestly, the other head prefects were like looking at us like, how old are you? But it was just so much fun. So we really held on to our childhood as long as we possibly could, and we were most definitely on the same wavelength. So yeah, so this is why, that's why I chose this deck, because this totally speaks to me of, you know, maybe being a child and maybe the last days of childhood. And I just so appreciate this portal energy. I really should be using, why am I not using this month? I'm going to get this out. I'm definitely going to get this out. Love this as well with the stars. I just think the borders are so pretty. I think I'm going to get it out, so keep an eye out. I love this, look at this. Oh, amazing. I'm going to get this out and keep your eye out for August favourites, because I think it's going to be showing up. Look, this is so good. Last one, and then we're going to move on. Next prompt is Bestie. Let's get into it. So Bestie, well, I'm thinking it was probably 15, 16, 17, 18, something like that. And this friend is the same friend for the next prompt as well, but I'm going to not show you the same deck, obviously. So my bestie, they were always having trouble with their boyfriend, and they were always on the landline, you know, because back in the 90s, you know, we didn't have mobiles at that time. We hadn't got our first mobiles yet, so we were on the landline. She was on the landline to me every single night, crying about her boyfriend that would, you know, be not very nice to her and stuff like that. And you know, I gave her the same advice all the time, and she never took it, and always had the same problem. So you know, well, you know how that goes. Anyway, so this is the deck that I chose for that. This is the Oracle of Soul Contracts, I think it's called. This is a mass market French deck. Look at the bling on this. Bling, bling, bling. I've never gone to the guidebook. I don't know why I'm showing the back. Unless you read French, you can't read it. But it's a nice solid box. It comes with a bag, which is fan-diddly-tastic. Did you see that? There we go. With cat hair as well. That doesn't come with a box. I added that on my own by myself. These are the backs. And these are, they're gilded. And this is, what did I say it was called? Oracle of Soul Contracts, something like that. I don't use this deck for that personally, because I use this very intuitively. And although you've got some like lovely-dovey cards, I just tend to go off of the images intuitively, and it works really, really well for me. I've spoken about this deck previously. I pair this deck with one of my favourite decks in my collection, which is the Sell and Raise Tarot. I love this. Oh, so good. Now, obviously, you know, I could Google Translate the guidebook, but the guidebook is very heavily, it leans heavily towards this whole lovey-dovey, you know, life partner, blah-de-blah-de-blah malarkey, and that's not my bag, baby. Here we go. So this was like my friend, you know, she was like, oh, I'm going to break up with my boyfriend. And then the next night she'd be like, oh my goodness me, my boyfriend broke up with me, I'm so heartbroken. And the next day she'd be like, oh, we're so in love, it's so great. And at the end of the, you know, at the end of the week, I was just like so, you know, I was just like so emotionally drained. I just had to take the weekend off. Anyway, so yeah, so should I show it with this deck with the Sell and Raise? I shouldn't be playing with pairs, but you know, why not? Why not? Buy one get one free and all that. These are the backs. This is a German deck, I want to say. Got edged in gold. These are the beautiful images, and I think they just really work so well. And I've used them together, and they've blown my socks off. This is a, what's the word? Favourite pairing in my collection. This is like one of my top 10 decks, most definitely. Oh, wait up, what's going on here? Yeah, I'm gonna make a couple more. It's quite fun reminiscing about, you know, the old days, and like, you know, I'm just remembering how it used to be with my friend, you know, phoning me, my mum being like, your friend's on the phone again, and I was like, and at the end of, you know, by the end of the phone call, you're so drained, you're like a wrung out dish rag, you know, because you've kind of taken on board all of their feelings and emotions, and it was just so draining. Anyway, so yes, good times. So yeah, excellent pairing. As mentioned, read this one very intuitively. Really enjoy the guidebook of this one, although I do tend to read this one like, you know, just, you know, off the cuff. Is that a saying? I don't know. Last one. Dooba-dooba-doo. There we go. Let's move on to the next prompt. So the next prompt is drinking buddy. My drinking buddy was my bestie, which I just spoke about. We kept contact with each other into our early 20s, I think. So I'm talking about when I was about 18, 19, and we used to go clubbing. We were in full-time jobs, both of us, and we used to go clubbing Thursday, Friday and Saturday nights, and still be working at the weekends and stuff like that. Oh my God, it was fantastic. You know, we would go out with £20 in our pockets. I would get a taxi to her place. We would drink a glass of very cheap plonk. Then we'd get a taxi back to the nightclub. Then we would go in earlier. The shots were £1 each before 10 o'clock. And so we'd drink a couple of shots, and we'd be like, you know, away with the fairies, and dance the night away on the dance floor, grab a kebab on the way home, grab a taxi, and both go our separate ways. And I kid you not, £20 that covered that in those days. It was amazing. We're talking about 1998, something like that. Oh, it was fantastic. Anyway, so yeah, great, amazing days. Wouldn't change them. So much fun, so much fun. And we also like went off on holiday together to Ibiza and stuff like that. So which deck did I choose for my drinking buddy? Well, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to sell you on it, but I'm going to go with it anyway. This is the Connected and Free Oracle. This was a second-hand find that I found. This is the indie version. And we were connected with each other. We were connected with, you know, the lifestyle. We were living, if I can say lifestyle, but like, you know, having fun. And we were free. We were both living with our parents still. And we had all the money in the world because we were, you know, full-time in full-time employment. And we were just paying, you know, some small pittance of rent to our parents. So we had all of our money, which was our own, which we could do what we want with, which we basically, you know, just went out and had fun and, you know, bought clothes to go clubbing in and stuff like that. And it was just such fun times. So that's the reason I chose this deck. And this deck is like quite colourful, and I think this is quite an upbeat deck. I mean, there are some like I don't want to say darker, that's the wrong word, but maybe there are two sides of the coin. But this is quite, what's the word? I think the colours make me think it's got, you know, quite an upbeat deck. I've used this one a couple of times with the Wild Unknown Tarot, but I haven't really dived so much into it. This didn't come with a guidebook, so I'm slowly like curating my own thoughts around this deck. Love this. That's blooming gorgeous. But like this kind of thing, you know, this totally reminds me of like, you know, the 90s. We were out and about. We were in like in Ibiza, and, you know, went to Spain, and it was just so much fun. And yeah, you know, sunbathed, and then, you know, went out and in the evening got drunk and danced the night away in the different clubs and stuff like that. It was just amazing, fun times. Yeah, living it up, living it free, not having any you know, bills to pay and stuff like that. Oh, good times. Let's move on to the next prompt. So the next prompt is the gossiper, and I'm going to choose my sister for this one because when me and my sister get chatting, when I call her, we can be on the phone for like 4 hours straight. I kid you not. And, you know, I get all the gossip and I get all the tea, and, you know, I just get all the information that I need to know. Anyway, so about her life, and she gets all about my life. So we are definite gossipers when we get on the phone chatting to each other. Now, thank goodness, you know, we can, you know, use different apps nowadays. So, you know, to, you know, the conversation or the calls don't cost what they used to. When I first moved to a different country, there wasn't so many apps, and the bills were quite expensive. So luckily we can find each other on apps nowadays, which is amazing. I chose for this two decks, a pairing, which are very, very chatty together. This is the Crystal Magic Tarot mass market, and this is the French version of the Oracle of Murmurs, or the Oracle of Whispers. I'll put the name on the screen. I've used these decks previously, maybe like last year, and they were such good readers together. They were so chatty. This is a really good versatile deck in my collection, and I've even paired this one with the, what's it called? The Numinous Tarot, I want to say it's called. That was also a secondhand deck I found on my super duper secondhand online shop. Yeah, but I just really enjoy it. I really enjoy both. This one feels quite witchy to me, and you would think this one obviously has, well, not obviously, maybe you don't have it, maybe you don't know anything about it, but as the name suggests in the title, the crystals are included in this deck, and they are like under the name of the card or the title of the card, they have the crystal that appears in the card as well, and then it relates to that back in the guidebook, which is really good. And I was going to say that one would imagine that this deck would be quite grounded, but I feel this one is quite airy. Maybe that's because that's why I see it as a very chatty deck. I don't know, with this communication thing going on. I don't know. It just works. That's what I'm going to say. I love this card. Reminds me of the Wizard of Oz and the Yellow Brick Road. It's all very bizarre, but it really does. I know it's quite random. Love this deck. I mean, look at this. The Adventure and then the Seven of Coins with this. But this totally reminds me of, sorry, I know that the Seven of Coins doesn't relate to this, but it totally reminds me of this whole, you know, Yellow Brick Road malarkey. Love it. yeah, you know, what can I say? Not very much really. So I think I'm going to move on to the next prompt, and the next prompt is number 6, which is the jokester, which is the friend that makes everything light-hearted, jokes about, tries to ease the attention maybe. And I would say that's me, actually. That's definitely me. I try to be quite a jovial person, if I could be so bold as to say that. And what deck would represent me? I don't know. That's a great question. Let me have a rummage and let me get back to you. Oh, this was a really tough one. Try and find a deck that represents you. Let me know in the comment section, if you had to choose a deck that represented you, which deck would you choose? Let me know. I'm interested, because this was really tough. This was a really, really tough prompt, I think. And I didn't choose anything like jovial or like fun or silly or blah, blah, blah. I chose me at this moment in my practice, the person I am right at the moment. And the deck that I chose for that was the Naked Truth Tarot, which I can't show you the box of because it's got a naked person on the front and I don't want to get flagged on the tube. But this is what I'm all about at the minute. Well, generally going forward, and my practice is like really focused on the naked truth, getting to know who I am and who I've forgotten that I am. Does that make sense? I hope so. These are the bags. This was also a second-hand deck. I can't remember if I got it on a buy sell group or if I got it online. I can't remember. I've bought so many second-hand decks. I just cannot remember. I'm really sorry. And yeah, this is kind of the reason this made me think of this deck, because I'm totally in it to win it in my devil card year. Yeah, wait, what? That was too many years. Holy moly. Oh, lordy lord. Anyway, yeah, so yeah, I love this devil card. I think it's amazing. Amazing. Love the snake energy. I'm talking about this snake. And I just love it. I just love the whole thing. So I've picked out a few cards which hopefully are not going to, cause too much offence. I hope I've put a warning right at the beginning of this segment so you know there was nudity. But I just think the images are fabulous. They are stunning. This deck is with my collection of books and decks, working with Lucifer energy. I know it's a bit bizarre, but that's the truth. I'm going to stop there because I don't want to get, I don't want to be told off for, nincompoopery. Yeah, and I haven't used it so much, but the readings I have done with it have been really, really good. So I need to get more into this, I think. But this definitely kind of is me in a nutshell right at the minute, with trying to get to the naked truth of me, digging and excavating and getting to the nitty gritty. Yeah, I'm going to stop talking. Let's move on to the next prompt. Next prompt is the Challenger. And this, oh yeah, the Challenger. Oh yeah, I like this. This kind of relates to me to a friend that I have here. They are a friend that encouraged me and believed in me when I started my gym instructor career, I'm going to say. They really encouraged me to, to believe in myself, that I could do it, and to go away on all these courses and, teach all these different classes. And yeah, so yeah, I'm going to go with supportive, encouraging, and a supportive, encouraging deck. Which deck is that? It's a tough one. Let's get to it. So a supportive, encouraging deck, that's got to be this one. This was kind of a no-brainer, actually. This is Remembering the Sweet Fall Tarot. This is a indie deck. Oh, I'm holding this back to front, sorry, upside down, inside out. This is designed by Trisha Murray. This is an amazing, amazing deck. These are the backs. And I use this every single month. I don't show it on my channel particularly very much. I spoke about this in my Call from Deity video, because this is the deck that I use to have some conversations with my deity. And this deck is just so encouraging and nurturing, but it's got this like quiet strength behind it, and it's very calming. It makes me kind of land in the moment. I do feel it's very grounded, but it's this like it's got this quiet strength, power about it. Like, yeah, Does that make? I hope that makes sense. I hope I've explained that. Okay, but I just think it's amazing. I really really enjoy it. What's the word? I pair this deck with the Lost Oracle, which is a mass market deck, and I love this. It's just chef's kiss. And this came onto my radar thanks to Shanna D. I saw it on their channel, and I was like, what deck's that? I need that deck. And I mentioned in my calling from deity video that I'm not sure if I received the call from deity on this deck, or if the deity was already calling and this just was like a coincidence that once this came into my collection, it kind of secured itself in that position to help me communicate with my deity. I don't really know. But either way, I'm just glad that I spotted it on Shanna D's channel and, you know, took notice of that intuitive, you know, slap in the face. It wasn't a slap in the face, but it was a definite a full body shove. So yeah, I love this one. It's as mentioned, it's not stealth-like, but it's, you know, it's quietly powerful. Oh, it's fantastic. And I love the guidebook as well. The guidebook has got poetry in it. Oh, it's just amazing. It just hits the spot every single time. I've never received a bad reading with this deck. Never. Okay, final prompt is the I can't even read that, my writing. The cool friend. Oh, somebody you admire, somebody, you know, that you just, you know, you'd like to be. And I think that's going to go back to my school days. That's probably somebody that was like, you know, a bit, what's the word? A bit tough, a bit dark, a bit daring, a bit, you know, they didn't really care, and they didn't get their schoolwork in on time, and, you know, they got detention and they got lines and stuff like that. I thought I wanted to be that person. I never dared because, you know, I just wouldn't dare. So I always got my homework in on time, like malarkey, and I never got detention. And yeah, but you know, I did. We did slide about on tabletops and desktops. So, you know, don't count me out for being a bad girl. Okay, I'm going to dash off and try and find a deck for the cool friend. I'm going to be right back. Wait. Bear with me. Okay, so the cool friend, well, I had to go with the Dark Angels Tarot, didn't I? Of course I did. This speaks to me of dark and moody and, you know, ooh, you know, totally trendy. This is what I want to be. This is what I want to do, you know. I want to be these people in this deck because, you know, they're cool. They're the cool kids. They're too cool for school. Absolutely love this deck. I've edged mine in black. This is a mass market. Did I say that? It's a low Scarabeo deck. And this is sitting in my dark decks basket beside me. Blooming love this deck. And it pairs so well with so many other the dark oracle decks I have in my collection. Dare I be so bold as to pull an oracle forward? Can I? May I? I think I may. I should be so daring. You know, because, you know, I'm too cool for school. Let's do that. I'm gonna pull forward. Wait. Okay, I pulled forward the Dark Mirror. No, sorry, the Dark Magic Oracle, which is also actually a, what's the word? Secondhand deck. I've picked a lot of secondhand decks in this video. That's good. I like that. Can't remember if I bought it on eBay. Can't remember. Love it. Excellent deck. These two together work fantastically. So we've got the King of Swords and Choice. Your decision will be correct. Love that. Really enjoy this deck. This deck is really good, but I feel that the guidebook reads a little bit younger. This would have suited me if I was in school, although the imagery and the keywords really, you know, work for me now. So I just tend to skim through the guidebook. We've got the Knight of Swords and Unseen. Trust your growing potential. I mean, look at this. Oh, chef's kiss. We've got the Ace of Cups with Ghost. Commune with your guides. I love this. We're going to just take a couple more, and yeah, then I'll do my outro. Holy moly. I've got the giggles today. What's that all about? Love this. Let go, lighten your load. Oh, look at that, where they're being caught. Oh, the nine of wands. I love that. Lighten your load. Yes. Oh, chef's kiss. Okay, we're done. I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to stop showing you decks. Am I? No, I'm not. I'm going to talk while I do this. Yeah, thank you so much for spending some time with me. I'm going to dare, if I be so bold, to tag a few people, because I really enjoy Tarot Ignited's channel. They have not very many subscribers and they should have more, in my humble opinion. Go over and watch their video. I'll link it below. And I'm also going to tag a couple of people to do this tag because it's so much fun. Can I be so bold as to, Mand, sorry, I'm going to tag you again. Mand at Mystic Mand. Emzie at Mystic Emzie. Lindsey at Silver Crow Tarot. And Dilly at Dragonfly Dilly. May I be so bold? Sorry, I promise I'm gonna stop tagging you peeps that I keep tagging in videos. Hashtag sorry not sorry. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. I'm gonna wish you a lovely morning, afternoon, even where you are. Take care, and I really hope to see you in the next video. Toodaloo.